Hey dudes, welcome to Dave C. Straight from the Pit. In today's episode, I'd like to talk about G.I. Joe Marvel number 53. That came out in November 1986, and here it is here in graded form. It's a 9.2 white pages. But yeah, this one is kind of a famous cover because it has Snake Eyes with his iconic Uzi. And I remember this one back then as a kid, getting it at the corner store with my monthly allowance. I rode my BMX down there all the time to get the G.I. Joe comics that would come out. And this one kind of blew me away when I saw it. Because it not only had Snake Eyes on the front, but it had all kinds of other famous Marvel guys. And had like Thor and Iron Man and Spider-Man and, pretty much anyone you can name that's a Marvel superhero of any significance. The Hulk and all kinds of other heroes you can see depicted on there. But to me as a kid, I remember thinking back then in '86 that like all right, man, like finally Snake Eyes and GI Joe are on the same level as these other Marvel heroes, because I remember as a kid collecting the books. A lot of my other friends, they had like Thor and Fantastic Four and Spider-Man and all the other ones, and G.I. Joe was kind of forgotten because it wasn't really like treated on the same level as far as comics go. But yeah, so I remember seeing him kind of in the large photo there, and having all the other heroes around him, and it was kind of saying like nope, this is Snake Eyes and he's a superhero too, like pretty much. So anyway, that's why I really wanted to get this one. And I was going to go to the Comic-Con that's coming up this weekend in Niagara Falls. But when I kind of weighed the positives and negatives, I chose not to go, and I chose instead to get a graded book, purchase one. One of my favorite ones, this one here. Simply because of cost. Like, to go to the show there for the 2 days, I could have bought like one or two of these books. And to go to the show, that's great and everything, but then I'd have to wait in lines, and then all I would end up doing is buying one of these books anyway. So I kind of figured, just for cost and for time, I could spend that weekend with my family, with Shane, and doing family things instead of an all-day comic event. I thought I'd just purchase this one, so that's what I did, and I like this slab. It's the first one I've ever owned. I know 9.2 isn't a high grade, really. Like, I think someone told me that anything 9.4 and up is like a really, really good grade. But this one's white pages, and I think it's a pretty good, decent grade. The one I have on my wall is actually right here. I took it off the wall, and looking at it, I think it's even a higher grade. It's probably like a 9.4 or 9.6 or something like that. But I think for me it was more just actually getting one that was graded by CGC, and it has a number on the website, and you type that in, and it comes up as being registered, and it has a certain value. So I just thought that's a cool thing. I'm positioned in front of the book some of the major players in the issue. They're the Battle Android Troopers, Cobra Commander, and Destro. And for the Joes, there's Lady J, Hawk, and other various Joes that you'll see in a minute. But yeah, and there's also some generals that come in from the Pentagon to meet with Hawk and do an investigation about a previous Cobra attack in the town of Springfield. So they're in town to talk to Hawk about that. And I'll show you those guys in a minute. And even though maybe this one that I have on my wall, it might even be in better shape than the one I have in the slab, I'm going to open it up anyway and take a look, because I want to show you guys this issue. Because I had this one as a kid, and it's a very, very interesting issue. So let's take a look at it. yeah, so let's take a look at this. And it's called Pitfall, Stanley Presents. And you can see down here, the date is November 1986. And there are the generals and admiral. There's Admiral Dyson, General Collinsworth, and General Ryan. And there they are talking about the attack on Springfield by Cobra, led by Serpentor, who was just newly created. And there's Spirit, Flint, Lady J. And I found this issue interesting as a kid because Flint is always depicted as a jerk in the comic, kind of opposite to how he is in the cartoon. But in this issue, he actually shows his weight in gold. I'll show you in a second. Here's the Cobra Eels. They're positioned in attack formation. And Lady J, she spots them. And there's Zartan. They're getting ready to send the bats down there. Destro, Cobra Commander, Serpentor. And there they are sending the bats down there, and Hawk is doing countermeasure. And since they're the only guys down there, the generals and the admiral, they're actually forced to defend their position. So they grab all the Joe's weapons out of the weapons lockers. And here's what I mean about Flint kind of sacrificing himself and actually showing how tough he is. I really like that Cobra Commander was still a part of the leadership in Cobra, even though Serpentor was created. Like here he's saying, like, no, I'm going to go and lead some troops down for the assault. And their Cobra Commander, he spots Hawk, and he wants to get even with him. So he's like, I want him. He's mine. And here's Flint here. He's about to get killed because he was already jumped by a bunch of frogmen. But then he comes to and he smashes a frogman in the face. And like I was saying earlier, he's kind of depicted as a jerk in earlier issues, but in this one, he comes through and he actually stops their assault. And here's Cobra Commander wanting to get even with Hawk, so he's strapping a whole bunch of dynamite to this battle android trooper. And Destro is saying like no, like you can't just send that guy down there, because I just sent a bunch of Cobra troops down there, and they're all going to die if you do that from the blast. But then Cobra Commander's like, well, then you shouldn't have sent him down there. So that kind of shows Commander's mindset all the time. He just wants to do what he wants to do. And there's the bat approaching the top brass. And this part I remembered as a kid, I thought was really cool. Admiral Dyson, he actually gives his life for the other guys. And he jumps this bat with the dynamite. and he hits the detonator, which leads to a giant explosion down there. And Cobra Commander and Destro, they think that Hawk's dead. Of course, he's not. And here's Flint coming to warn the other guys. You can see he's got the crap beat out of him. But, yeah, he's coming to warn them. And they're fighting in the very, very bottom level of the pit. Destro, Cobra Commander, Cobra officers and soldiers against a few generals. And then General Ryan gives his life to save his colleagues. And there's a gigantic explosion. And Serpentor and Zartan and other Cobra guys, they escape. But we're left in this issue thinking that Destro and Cobra Commander are trapped down there. Or dead. Most likely dead, because it was a massive explosion. But of course, you know what happens if you're a Joe fan. But anyway, that's for the next issue. But I really wanted to get this one because it was really fun to read as a kid. And like I was saying before about the cover, it has like Iron Man and, you know, all kinds of famous Marvel guys on the front. Captain America. And yeah, to have Snake Eyes there, it was like, oh yeah, like finally, you know, G.I. Joe's getting some credit here. They were 53 issues in, and was actually a top-selling Marvel book around that time. So yeah, just really felt good about this book, and thought I would buy this this slab here, a graded one. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. And whatever you're doing or whatever you have to do coming up, just make sure you relax and take it easy, take it slow, and enjoy your time until you watch another Dave C. Straight from the Pit video. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. See ya.